The views are out of this world.
This thing is unbelievable. It sounds incredible.
Golly gee, everybody, look at that.
Last week we brought you a great drive in South Australia. This week we're still here. That's how good it's been. When you think of South Australia, I'm sure a few things spring to mind, including churches, food, festivals, but I'm sure a lot of you have travelled here to visit the stunning wine regions, and that's exactly what we're going to do this time round. A premium drive calls for some premium wheels, so let me introduce you to my Jeep. Enter the Jeep Grand Cherokee. We hit the jackpot with the ever-luxurious, the range-topping L Summit Reserve 7-seater. This spec is loaded with features and definitely one of the most luxurious Jeeps you've ever seen. It gets an impressive 360-degree camera, dual-panel panoramic sunroof, head-up display, premium Macintosh high-performance audio system with 19 speakers, a power tailgate, second row window shades and a fan cam. A great feature for the front row to keep an eye on passengers and cargo, and a fun tool if you've got some time to kill. This SUV also scores incredibly comfortable quilted Palermo leather trimmed seats. They're heated and ventilated for the front and second row, and the front also gets a massage function. And this one's actually a goodie. Good night. We started this journey from a local favourite, the Cudlee Cafe. For anyone travelling from the CBD looking to escape into the Adelaide Hills, this cafe is a regular starting or finishing point for riders, cyclists and families. Cudlee Cafe is located on Gorge Road, just 45 minutes from the city. This is my third drive through South Australia, all of which have been with Drive TV. Lucky me. The problem is that our states are beautiful and there is a lot to see. So you really do have to pick and choose, but I think we've chosen well. For the wine lovers out there, we're on the road to the Barossa Valley. We're going to see some great towns along the way too. We started with a run up the hill to Cudlee Creek, then we're heading into Gumeracha, Williamstown, Seppeltsfield, and then we'll end up in the heart of the Barossa. We are here in winter, there's a bit of rain about. We have had plenty of sunshine already though, which is great news, but I think we might have to cross some things off our list. It's probably not the ideal weather for hot air ballooning, and the grapes have already been picked, so we won't be doing any pick and stomps or anything like that. But I promise you, even though it is winter, we're still going to be very busy because there's plenty of activities to do no matter what time of the year it is.
Up to the sounds of the silence that allows for my mind to run around with my ear up to the ground. I'm searching to behold the stories that I told when my back is to the world that was smiling when I turned. Tell you you're the greatest, but once you turn, they hate.
This is the Jeep Grand Cherokee, and the one that we're in is the creme de la creme. It is the range-topping L Summit Reserve. This is the first all-new Jeep Grand Cherokee in a decade, and it is very plush, it is grand, has some really impressive tech, and by all new, I mean it sits on a new platform as well, which is shared with cars like the Alfa Romeo Stelvio and Giulia, and it has been stretched. This is a large SUV on a long wheelbase, and it certainly feels large when you are behind the wheel, but with that long wheelbase means that there's a lot more space. It's a great family tourer, 7 seats and all. As you're driving through the town of Gumeracha, stop off and climb the Big Rocking Horse. The Big Rocking Horse is notably most famous for having the Guinness Book of Records record for the largest rocking horse in the world. It was built in 1981 and stands at over 18 metres tall. Otherwise, this town is surrounded by vineyards, dairy cattle, floral displays, and immaculately kept gardens.
Hey girls, beat boys, superstar DJs, here we go! Hey girls, beat boys, superstar DJs, here we go! Hey girls.
This car packs a 3.6 litre petrol engine, so no V8 in the range and no diesel option either. This car is capable of 210 kilowatts and 344 newton metres. Not big numbers, and yes, personally, I would have expected a bit more oomph from this car. But I won't let that take away from the goodness that's inside this SUV, because there's lots of positives, and that includes the steering. It's a lot heavier, something to get used to, but it gets you through those twists and turns. Great turning circle, it's nimble, and it's done really well over some of the roads that we've faced so far. Lots of divots, lots of potholes, lots of harsher surfaces, but the ride comfort and the control is certainly first class. We've come through the town of Williamstown especially to see a wall, but it's not just any wall. This here is the Whispering Wall, and it's famous for its acoustic abilities. Whispers can be heard for the entire length of this wall, and that stretches around 140 metres. Let's see if it works. Hello. The Whispering Wall was built between 1899 and 1903 and is located in the Barossa Reservoir Reserve. The wall was intended to act as a backup water supply for the Gawler. Early settlers had been using the water from the South Para River, but there were concerns that it wasn't clean enough, hence the construction of the wall. Of course, if you want to witness the magic of the wall, best to bring along a friend.
You're beautiful, and that's for sure. You'll never, ever fade.
Driving through South Australia, you know that you're going to get great driving roads. This has had a bit of everything. You've had some wide open roads to really stretch the legs of this car. There's been twisties and turns and lots of hills. But I think the really big hero of this drive is what you're seeing ahead of you and what you're seeing out that window, because the scenery is absolutely magnificent heading through this area. They say that Adelaide is the 20-minute city because you're supposed to be able to get everywhere within 20 minutes, which I certainly believe. But I think that also extends to the countryside, because you miss one town and there's another great pit stop only a few k's down the road. The next stop is a stunning must-see. You've surely heard the name or seen it on a label in your local bottle shop. This is Seppeltsfield, a locality on the western side of the Barossa Valley. It is also the location of the historic Seppeltsfield winery. Seppeltsfield was established in 1852 when Joseph Ernst Seppelt bought land and moved there after having migrated from Europe to South Australia in 1849. He attempted to grow tobacco, then grew corn, wheat and grapes. Even if you're skipping that winery, you have to drive through this area especially for the Avenue of Palms.
I thought that I've been hurt before, but no one's ever left me quite this sore.
The 5-kilometre trail of Canary Island date palms was planted by Seppeltsfield winery workers during the Great Depression from 1920 to 1930. Over 2,000 palms now line the sides of Seppeltsfield Road and the estate, and it truly is a spectacular driving experience.
Party girls, don't get hurt, can't feel anything. When will I learn? I push it down, push it down. I'm the one for a good time call, phone's blowing up. Ring on my doorbell, I feel the love, I feel the love.
When you have a look at some of these driving roads that we've taken, really fun, some really challenging. You might think you want to tackle it in a sports car, which yes, I'm sure would be fun, but I felt really confident behind the wheel of this, and it really is a comfortable car to get us around a trip like this one. 10.6 litres per 100 kilometres is the claimed fuel consumption. I actually thought it would be a lot thirstier. We've sort of been sitting just over 11 with all the different driving conditions. That is pretty good, and it can still take 91 unleaded as well. I think this has some really impressive features, even though for the price point, yes, you're spending a bit, but I still have enjoyed driving this car. As I said, it's really comfortable, it's a pleasant drive, and even though you're spending a bit of coin, it is packed with a lot of features. If you're in a Jeep and you're wondering how to change tracks or turn the volume up, it's actually kind of like Ferrari, right? It's behind the steering wheel. The Barossa is one of the world's great wine producing areas, boasting more than 150 wineries and 80 cellar doors. In fact, it's home to the world's oldest continuously producing Shiraz, Grenache, Mataro, Cabernet Sauvignon and Semillon vines. Rich reds are renowned here, as are fortified wines. The valley consists of 5 major towns and a handful of smaller towns. Seeing as though we're in the Barossa, there was no way we could leave without visiting a winery. Even if you're not a wine drinker or you're driving like I am, there's still plenty of things to explore at these amazing properties. We're stopping in at Penfolds, located in the heart of the Barossa, on Tanunda Road in Noorayupta. Penfolds is one of the most celebrated winemakers in the world today. The success of Penfolds can be dated back to 1884, when Dr. Christopher Rawson Penfold, an immigrant from England, founded the original winery. He brought vine cuttings along to Australia with him and used them to establish a vineyard in McGill on the outskirts of Adelaide, around a stone cottage he called the Grange. Penfold's wife Mary made the early wines, which the doctor prescribed as a tonic to his patients. You've surely heard of Penfolds Grange. It became the flagship not just for Penfolds, but for the Australian wine industry as a whole. I don't think I'll be purchasing any of that today, but I am lucky enough to be booked into my very own one-on-one masterclass. Christy, this all looks very exciting. I haven't been in a lab for quite some time. Take me through what we're doing here today.
Well, today we will be creating your own blend. We are going to be designing something that wholly and solely your palate loves and enjoys.
Great. Now, seeing as I'm not tasting today, you are the expert. I'm going to let you drive this, so I'm just going to let you know. I'm after something bright, fruity, probably not too heavy, a bit more on the medium side of things.
Perfect.
So what have you got for me?
Yeah, look, because we are using 3 different grape varietals today, all sourced from the Barossa Valley, we're going to be utilising Grenache, Shiraz and also Mataro. And I think for you, being the bright and vibrant person that you are and your palate, I'm thinking predominantly more so Grenache. It's really nice raspberries, cherries, very fruity, nice and juicy. And I think, maybe around 20% of Shiraz and then a little bit of Mataro.
Can I just say, have I been saying Shiraz wrong my entire life? I love that Shiraz.
No, not at all. It's a little bit of a twang. I guess it depends from what region you're from as to how you say it. Shiraz.
I think Shiraz sounds nicer. I'm going to go with that. All right, let's get cracking.
That's right, I got to make my very own wine.
There you go. So really important that we integrate those wines together. So you give it a really nice little swirl. This is where you can practice your technique now.
Great technique. Look at that.
Terrific.
So because this is sort of a medium to a heavy, what would I be eating with this?
Oh, look, I think with your GSM, which you've produced today, look, they're really a lovely medium-bodied style. They complement most dishes. I'm thinking a nice wood oven pizza, or you could almost go a nice, beautiful pan-seared duck dish. I think that would really encapsulate those cherries and raspberries, which are quite predominant in the range. Or you could even just enjoy a beautiful, nice little sirloin. I think that would go beautifully with that one. Yeah.
And how much am I selling my bottle for, do you think?
What do you think it's worth? What do you
wouldn't
reckon?
be buying it. I don't think I'm very good at this. Okay, so you can tell me how well I've done. Here you go. It's all yours.
Let's have a look here. So,
I may have gone a little bit too hard on the Grenache.
do you know what?
Yeah, that face is not good.
I think that is beautiful.
It is?
It is bright, it's aromatic, it's a very easy drinking style. There is not a lot of tannin structure there. I'm thinking that's pretty spot on.
10 out of 10,
yeah,
great, thank you.
absolutely.
All
I would
right.
certainly be quite happy to sit down and enjoy a nice glass of that one.
Great, so I'm not too bad at this.
If you too want to be a winemaker for the day, this experience is approximately 90 minutes in duration and it runs daily from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
What is one of your most expensive bottles housed here?
We are very, very blessed to have our beautiful 50-year-old fortified. So 50 years in the barrel and it retails at, over $3,500. So if you want a tasting of that one, you're going to have to part with a little bit of money today.
I don't think I can expense that today somehow, but anyway, moving on. Great, well thank you so much for having me today. I can't believe that I'm leaving with my own little bottle. I appreciate it.
Congratulations, you've done well. Well done, Emma. We might see you on the winemaking team soon.
So this is really a worthy drive. Make sure you come out and see it for yourself. First time visiting the Barossa Valley. I've really enjoyed every moment and it certainly exceeded my expectations. Even though there's a bit of rain around and the mornings are crisp, there's still lots that you can do even if you're not a wine drinker. So come out and see it for yourself. I have to say, a girl from Victoria, I love our wine regions, but yes, South Australia, this certainly is one of the best. We took a grand car and had some grand plans, most of which we achieved. It just goes to show that a region like this one you can visit at any time of the year. Even if you don't love your wine, this is a perfect place for foodies, car enthusiasts and families. Now for anything else that you need to know from this trip, head on over to drive.com.au. That includes all the information on the Jeep Grand Cherokee. Otherwise, we'll see you next week for another great drive.
There's no place I'd rather be. I would away forever, exalted in the sea. As long as I am with you, my heart continues to beat.
This drive started at the Cudlee Cafe in Cudlee Creek. We then hit the road and stopped into Gumeracha, visited the Whispering Wall just outside of Williamstown, and trekked north to the Avenue of Palms before finishing up in the heart of the Barossa Valley in Nariopta. Next week, join Trent as he takes our reigning 2023 Drive Car of the Year on a voyage of discovery, exploring the nation's capital. That's next week on Drive.